Oh, there I am. Sorry, I forgot to add myself to the stream. Welcome, everybody. We are here on a Tuesday night once again for our Missing Person Monday live stream. I apologize for the last minute shifting to Tuesday, but just had some family things come up that I didn't know about. So, anyway, we are here on Tuesday, Missing Person Monday once again. Welcome to anybody that's new here. Thank you for choosing to hang out with us for a little bit. And tonight we're going to be featuring, because last month, November, was Native American Heritage Month, and which I share all, I try to share Native American Indigenous people, MMIP, throughout the year as I come across cases. But once again, StreamYard I thought was going to work on my laptop, but maybe not. Anyway, but I just didn't. I've been busy trying to leaving. We're leaving out Friday. I'm going to be gone for 8 days. We're taking a trip with a tour group to New York City. So we leave out Friday morning, and I think we'll be back the Friday after that. So I've just been busy trying to get ready for that, and I haven't even started packing. I hate packing. I'm a last minute packer. So anyway, so I didn't really have time to. We've been going through featuring a city from each state here the last few weeks, but I just didn't have time to. Let's say I've been trying to work and do this and do that, and then we've had. And I don't know if Mustang's in here. Mustang, did you get any snow or sleet or freezing rain up in your part of Arkansas? Because we were supposed to have a possibility here in Central Arkansas yesterday of some sleet and freezing rain. I think ours was mostly rain, thank goodness. But anyway, so I didn't get out and work yesterday, and I don't like wintertime. I don't like the rain. I don't like the cold. I don't like the gray, gloomy skies. But anyway, how's everybody's weather wherever you're at in the world? Like I said, Arkansas has schizophrenic weather because tomorrow it got up into the 40s today. Tomorrow it's going to be back up in the 50s. It's going to be back down into the 30s and 40s. So, typical Arkansas weather. Come on. Keeps letting me in, then it kicks me out. Well, let me see who is here. Oh, by the way, before I forget, and I think I pinned it to the top of the chat, all the flyers that I'm using tonight came from the Stolen Spirits MMIWG Facebook group, which both links, they have a YouTube channel, they have a Facebook group, both links are in the description box. But I think I remember to pin the link to the channel, to their YouTube channel, to the top of the chat. So if you haven't already, please do go check out and subscribe to Stolen Spirits MMIWG on here on YouTube. They do such Miss Bridie, Miss Nicole, that whole group over there does such a wonderful job of bringing awareness to the MMIP that are out there that just don't get the attention, unfortunately. If you do Facebook, visit the Facebook group. They post lots of flyers. They keep up to date with their updates. So please do check them out. I always like to give them a shout out whenever I can. See if it's going to let me back in or if it's going to kick me out. So I'll see if it's going to let me in. See who is here. Thank you everybody who is here tonight. Miss Doodle checked in. Hello, ma'am. Always good to see our Doodlebug. Miss Paula is here. Welcome, ma'am. Good to see you. Chris is here. Good to see you, sir. Lisa Joe is here. She's here. If her comment will come up, maybe fixing to kick me out. Hold on. I'm going to go back to the phone. Oh, it's up there. There we go. Yeah. Is Lisa Joe up? Yeah, Lisa Joe's up. Okay. Thank you, Lisa Joe, for being here. Good to see you, ma'am. Let me use this hand. No, I don't want to update Windows right now. No, thank you. Let's see who else is here. Miss Louise is here. Did Miss Louise come up? No, they kicked me out again. So I'm going to be working off the phone, most likely. There's Miss Louise. Good to see you, ma'am. Butterfly Kisses is here. Good to see you. There's Mustang. Good to see you. And I broke my other, because I have I have a lot of cheater glasses laying around, probably in every room of the house. But the ones that I usually wear when I'm reading stuff up close, they broke. I guess I dropped them in the frame, cracked, and one of my lenses fell out. So I'm going to have to get me another pair before we leave. Before we leave to go on our trip. So it's not one thing, it's another. Let's see who else is here. Are we going to work? Let me see. Just don't want to miss anybody. Sometimes I scroll through here. There's Frank Meister. Hello, Frank Meister. Good to see you. Once again, yeah, okay, it came up. Things are laggy on my computer, as always. Thank you, Mustang. Is getting in links. I'm just getting caught up here. Chris says I can possibly see Miss Doris. Yeah, Miss Doris is in that area. Yeah, the trip is supposed to be like, New York. I think I'm just going to give up on StreamYard here. Is New York, Christmas in New York City. Of course, they have all the. I'm assuming I've just seen pictures. All the stores and everything decorated for Christmas, and I think we're going to get to go down to Rockefeller Center to see the big tree, and I think we're going to get to see the Rockettes too. I'm not sure. My mom has the itinerary. I hadn't looked at the itinerary to see exactly what all we're going to do, but it should be fun. It should be fun. I've never been to New York City before. Let's see. Where is that comment? Oh, it's going the wrong way as usual. There it is. Okay. Mustang says she got mostly rain but did get a dusting of snow. See, I didn't even see any snow. We might have had some freezing rain because the cars were iced last night and this morning until it warmed up above freezing. Yeah. Yep. Miss Lisa just says she's in northern Minnesota, so winter. Yeah, my brother Echoes and Mrs. Echoes. He was texting me the other night about one of the football games. I don't know, but he said they got about 4 or 5 inches. Yeah, and they live in the Minneapolis area. They don't live in Minneapolis, but in that area. And he said that they got more than was expected. He said they got about 5 inches. So, I don't like winter time. I like the snow if it snows here when I don't have to get out in it. I just don't like the cold. Don't like the cold. Yes, Miss Louise, with our Go Cowboys. Thank you, Mustang. Yes, do all the things. Mustang says New York City is on her bucket list. Yeah, I said I've never been, because the last time I went to the East Coast, it was more up in Massachusetts, the New England area, Nantucket, and went to Martha's Vineyard, and went to Plymouth, went to Plymouth Rock, and it was up that way. So now we're going to go down a little bit and do New York City. Do New York City. I said it's an 8-day trip, but I don't know how long it's going to take to drive or ride from here. Which we're going to probably stop and spend the night somewhere tomorrow night, somewhere in between. Like I said, my mom has the itinerary. I don't know exactly what the plan is, but they always plan things. Of course, we have stops for lunch or dinner, and then we have potty breaks and stuff. We'll stop at just to pull into like a Love's or something, a big gas station, and get snacks and drinks and whatever. But let everybody stretch their legs. But I think we do have something planned. I think somewhere in Kentucky they have something planned that we're going to do in Kentucky. I'm not sure. Let's see. Telling you, everything is messed up as usual tonight. Okay, there's where I was at. Paula says Durham, New Hampshire got snow. Well, once again, it's not coming up. I'm just going to give up. I'm going to turn it off on my computer. Miss Paula said Durham, New Hampshire got snow. Thank you, Miss Louise. Yep, I'm excited. Like I said the other night, I did a short live stream. What was it, Friday night? It was late night. It was after or was it Saturday night? No, it was Friday night. After one of the college games that was on that I was watching. And I'm not a good rider. I've never been a good traveler. I don't like to ride. I don't like to be cooped up in a car or vehicle for too long, but we'll make it. If I can make it up to New England and back riding the bus, I think we can do New York City back. Yep, I saw that. I watched that game last night. Miss Paula said the Patriots won. Yep, I watched that game last night. Part of it because they had to go on the TV at where we were at. Doodle says, you guys are adventurous. I go to Walmart in the bathroom. Yeah, it's me and my mom and my aunt are going. So, like I said, we're going through the right tours. We don't have to worry about driving, thank God, because we would never make it if we had to drive. Just saying. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Getting to spend some time with mom and my aunt, and getting to see New York City at Christmas time. But yeah, I'm usually not adventurous either. Lisa Joe says Gabby is in Kentucky. Gabby, who's Gabby? You ought to remind me. Yes, Miss Lisa's correct. She said Walmart is an adventure and a bad adventure. You both are correct. Let's see. Hey, Patriotism, good to see you. Welcome. Okay, I think I'm caught up. So mark there. All right, so I guess we'll need my slideshow. That might help. All right, like I said, we're going to be featuring MMIP, missing and murder. It's missing. It's only missing Indigenous persons tonight. I like I said, I went to the Stolen Spirits MMIWG Facebook page. I just took like the first. I think I have 15. I know that sounds like a lot, but unfortunately, with these cases and with a lot of MMIP cases, there's just not a whole lot of information out there. So, but I mean, I did manage to find, because I have two older cases that they had on there. I was able to find a little bit of information on Google about those. But as far as the other ones, there's not really, unfortunately, a whole lot of information. Maybe a few article here and there, little tidbits, but just basic information. So that's why I chose so many to do tonight, because once again, lack of information, it's so frustrating, but we are used to it, unfortunately. One of the things we've had to get used to. Hey, Miss Mel, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well, ma'am. Patriotism says Walmart is a bad adventure for me. Also, I'll walk around the store looking for my buggy, then don't miss on the parking lot. Oh, I know. It is. You have to take your life in your own hands if you're walking in the Walmart parking lot. Even walking across the pedestrian crossing thing that they have, like when you come out of the store, the cars, they have those stripes, and the cars are supposed to stop. They don't stop. People go down the aisles the wrong way. That was one of my pet peeves of anywhere, not just Walmart, is people going down the aisles of the parking lot the wrong way. They can't. Anyway, I'm not going to get started on it. Oh, like Patriotism says, don't get me started. Miss Mel says she's doing just dandy. Excellent. All right, so I have to do this off make sure I have the right one. So first we have Jamesina Summer Montclair. She's just 16 years old. She's been missing since November 24th of this year, 2025, from Roosevelt County, Montana. She's obviously a Native American female, once again, just 16 years old, brown eyes and brown hair. She's 5 foot 5 inches tall, 150 pounds. Let's see if there's any other. And I was thinking, let me make sure I didn't have, because on some of these I found, I don't have anything. I thought there was one. It might have been another one that I'm thinking of. So if you have any information about Jamesina, if you know where she's at, if you've heard anything, if you saw anything, contact the Roosevelt County Sheriff's Office at 406-653-6240, or local police. Just call 911 with any information. And once again, no bit of information is too small in any of these cases. Absolutely. All right. Next we have, and I'm glad I remembered to email myself the slideshow, because I was going to read the information off the slides from my computer, but once again, since StreamYard is not acting right on my computer, Next, we have Katie Waller. She's just 15 years old. She has been missing from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, since September 17th of 2025. So on this, there apparently is no information available regarding her height, weight, hair color, eye color. I'm assuming she has dark hair, maybe dark eyes. I'm just trying to look at the picture on the slide. We don't have any height or weight, unfortunately, but we have her face. So if you have any information about Katie, you can contact the Norman Police Department at 405-321-1600 or the 24-hour NCMEC hotline at 1-800 the Lost, which is 1-800-843-5678. It's got the you can see it's got the NCIC number and the NCMEC number there on the poster. And I'm going to try throughout this week to share all these flyers on my community tab here on YouTube, and then on my Facebook. So please, once again, if you do Facebook, please, or just go to the Stolen Spirits MMIWG group, join it, share the flyers out, share them here on YouTube to help keep these folks' names and faces out there. Be greatly appreciated. All right, so that was Katie. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Hold on, I'm pushing buttons, and you know what happens when I start pushing buttons. All right, so this is Joey Curtis Flett. He's 42 years. He's missing from High Prairie, Alberta, Canada, since September 28th, 2022. He's an indigenous male, brown hair, brown eyes, 5'8" tall, 130 pounds. He was last seen wearing a black coat, a black hat, camouflage sweatpants, and camouflage hoodie. It says he does have a sleeve tattoo and a skull tattoo on his hand. He was last seen in the Gift Lake, Alberta, High Prairie area. And there is a $6,000 reward for this one. So if you have any information about Joey, contact the High Prairie RCMP at 780-523-3370 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. Or once again, on any of these, you can always call your local authorities, 911. They can get you in touch with the proper authorities. And I think I did have, maybe I found something with just a little shred of information that wasn't given, and this is from justice for nativepeople.com. Joey was 42 when he was last seen leaving a property. It just says a property. Don't know if it's his property, somebody else's property, in Gift Lake, Alberta, on September 28th, 2022. It says the vehicle he was driving was later recovered in a rural area. I don't know if this is just out like in the middle of a field somewhere, or out in the wooded area, or what, it doesn't tell what kind of condition it was in. But it just says it was recovered. But Joey, when they found the vehicle, they didn't find any sign of Joey. He has not been seen or heard from since. He remains missing. So that was just a little tidbit of information that it didn't have on the poster. It just, I don't know when they in a lot of these cases, when they find a vehicle, found in a remote area, or let's say a rural area, I mean, you don't know, did the missing person leave it there for some reason? It could have been that it broke down and he took off walking, or if it's something nefarious, did somebody else take it out there to try to hide it? I mean, we don't know. And that's the problem, like I said, with just cases like, my ear's popping. I hope I don't have fluid on my ear. Once again, that's just the trouble with these Sorry, feels like I got water in my ear. With these MMIP cases, there's just so little information. All right, let me stop for a minute and check your comments. Use this hand. Turn my camera off while I'm doing that since I'm leaning into the camera here. I know I remember to mark where I was at. Hold on. Whole bunch of comments have popped up while I was reading. Right, there's where I was at. I'll have to. I didn't know Miss Mill had done a live stream. Louis says, "Cold truth, your last live was spot on." Oh, I'll have to watch that. We've been missing Miss Mel. Let's see. There's Miss Avery. Good to see you, ma'am. Oh God, sorry, my ear is. Avery says, "Hey y'all, I just watched the hearing for the mother of Rebecca Parks. Y'all, if y'all pray, please do. I'm in tears hearing what they did to her." Is that the one that had the baby, was pregnant? Is and they found her unfortunately deceased, but not the baby? That is a horrible case. If that's the one I'm thinking about. Horrible, horrible. Thank you, Frank Master. Says don't be a scrub. Hit that like button. I don't know why my ear is popping. It feels like it's got fluid in it. You know, like if you get shampoo or water or something in your ear and it just makes that weird noise. That's what it's doing. Anyway, just want to make sure nobody. Well, thank you very much, sir. Frank Master sent a $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. So guess what? We get to, let me find the cow. The cow's probably frozen as cold as it's been here. Thank you so much, Frank Master. It was very kind of you. Very much appreciated. And you guys, please go check out, if you have not checked out Frank Master already, What Are You Doing With Your Life? Go check him out. He does wonderful work over on his channel. Am I going the wrong way again? Oh my goodness. So once again, I hate trying to read comments off my phone. Yeah, I went too far down. One second. Oh, goodness gracious. Did I miss far? Hold on. Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh, I almost missed Miss Farr. Hey, Miss Farr, good to see you. Did she say oh, watch out. I'm about to throw myself out of here. Miss Farr says she's listening and piss farting. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Yeah, watch out for them Australians. They have some weird ways of talking here. Oh, I'm just kidding, Miss Farr. I'm someone to be talking with my southern accent and southern slang. All right, there we go. Now I'm back down to where I was at. Ms. Paula wants to know if it's considered suspicious. I would think so. Like I said, in my opinion, the way I think about it is all missing persons are suspicious to me until and unless that person gets a hold of family or law enforcement and says, "Hey, I'm okay. I just needed to get away," or whatever the case may be. I always consider them suspicious. You know, Now, some maybe more than others, just due to circumstances, you know, what the circumstances surrounding their disappearance, things like that. But once again, with these, and I'll keep harping on it, but once again, with these MMIP cases, there's just so little information regarding, on most of them, regarding, you know, any little details about, you know, because it just says he disappeared from a property. Well, was that his home? Was it somebody else's home? Was it a business? What is it? Was it work? Was it, you know, just a little, you know, little things like that that would kind of help if you knew, you know, kind of knew where they disappeared from, you know, what time, you know, if they were last seen with anybody, those little things, you know, kind of help try to put the pieces together on what possibly could have happened, or, you know. But anyway, all right, let me get caught up. And yeah, patriotism is a cow time. Yes, we got to have the moo cow. Talking about Miss Nicole from Stolen Spirits. Alicia Joe said I need to reach out to Nicole. Let's see. Yeah, Chris is here somewhere. He said hi earlier. Okay, I can just imagine. Iris says she's watching the trial, the mom and the husband of Rebecca Parks. I couldn't do it. Oh, I see. I didn't know that detail. So it was her mother that did it? I hope we're talking about the same case. Hope to God there's not two cases like this. I just knew that she had been found, and that, not to get too graphic, you know, she was found, but the baby was not. But I didn't know. It's been a while. Like I said, I've been busy. I have not been able to keep up. So her mother did it? Are you serious? Oh my God. I mean, it's horrible anyway, but for your own mother to do something like that? Are you serious? Oh my God. Yeah, I had not heard that. Yep. Fars said, I think it is worse when it's a family member compared to a stranger. Just seems more evil, betrayal. Absolutely. I mean, you know, we have a hard enough time worrying about what a stranger could do to us. You know, I'm not saying you have to be, you know, live in fear and be paranoid all the time. Just, you know, be smart, be aware. But when you have to, I mean, we don't even want to think about having to be afraid of what our own family members might do to us. It's just because, you know, your family should be your, I mean, my family is my everything. I trust every member of my family with my life. You know, we have our little tribe, and that not just blood family, but extended family, our little tribe, as we call it. So yeah, I mean, and for a mom to do that to her own child is, I can't comprehend it. Can't comprehend it. Welcome, fun party person. So either that, I know YouTube, or I don't know if YouTube or StreamYard has been messing around with the name. So that's either a new person, if you're new. If I can get my camera, if you're new, welcome, or if it's somebody that's been here that changed their name. But they asked me, who do you want to win the SEC championship this weekend? Georgia, definitely. Definitely Georgia. And I'm probably going to get some hate for that from the Alabama fans. Definitely Georgia, because they're my second favorite, probably college team in general, but SEC team. Of course, being from Arkansas, I'm a Razorbacks fan, but we finally got a new coach. We got the Ryan Silverfield, who he was coaching for Memphis, just up the road, an hour or so away. So we'll see. I know there's not a lot of fans. There's some fans that are not very happy with that choice, but we'll see. But Memphis beat Arkansas, so what are they bitching about? Excuse my language. You know, Memphis beat us. Of course, everybody beat us. We won, I think, 2 games this season. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be cheering for Georgia. Keep hitting the wrong buttons. Hold on. Try not. No, I don't want to do that. There we go. Okay. Yes, her own mother. That's just wow. Oh, Miss Avery. Miss Avery says Alabama will win. Duh. I don't know. Well, I just hope it's a good game. Like I said, I am going to be rooting for Georgia because I do have Georgia roots. My grandpa, my mom's dad came from Georgia, so I actually have Texas roots, Georgia roots, and then I was born in Arkansas. Because mom's side of the family came from Georgia. My dad's family came from Texas, but so I have Georgia roots, or Georgia and Texas roots. Y'all talking about some Walmart? We're gonna have to do a thing, some Walmart stories at some point next time we do a chill live stream. Because I worked at a Walmart as an associate for 15 years, and then I've been doing Spark for about 1.5 years. Yeah, there's some things you see in Walmart that you can't unsee. I'm just gonna put it that way. Far said, that's fine. We do have some strange words. I like that. I like it. I use that piss farting. I use and they'll look at me like, what did you just say? Miss Mel says, do you make these flyers or no? Aside, I can. Now the flyers that I'm using tonight come from the Stolen, Miss Brady, Miss Nicole, that whole group at Stolen Spirits-MMIWG. Once again, they have a YouTube channel. It's posted at the top of the chat. They do have a Facebook group, but all these poster, and they make just beautiful, informative posters. So all these posters that I'm using tonight are from Stolen Spirits. But Miss Mel says, do you know a site I can make one? When I don't make a whole lot of flyers, but like I will every once in a while if there's just a case that I have or a flyer I want to do that just there's no flyers on Google to use, I will make one. But I have oh, it just flew out of my head what they were called. I have Canva, and I have what is the name of the other one? I use Canva and something else. I can't remember the name of the other one, but it's apps actually that I downloaded. But I think all the flyers that I've ever made, I use Canva. Let's see. Hey, Junior. Good to see you, my friend. How are you doing, sir? He is in Kentucky. I may be passing through Kentucky's. I don't know how far we'll get tomorrow, or not tomorrow. Friday, we leave Friday morning. I don't know what time. I may be passing through Kentucky at some point. Friday or Saturday. It's always good to see Junior. Let's see. Hey, Boston Christian, good to see you. Lots of people coming in. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I had to switch hands. Oh, now patriotism's got the Roll Tide going. We're gonna have to fight. Who is it, Miss Avery? Me, you and Miss Avery is gonna have to fight. I think I'm outnumbered though. There's got to be some other Georgia fans in here. Don't tell me y'all are all Alabama fans. A fun party person says, no, roll Tide roll. Oh, goodness gracious. You Alabama fans. I'm kidding. It's all in good fun. Oh, thank you, Miss Avery. Sent a $10 super chat. I get up here where I'm going to. She says, yes, same case. She went missing November 3rd, was 39 weeks pregnant. Her mom and mom's husband had so the husband was involved too. Had their arraignment today. Also, Rebecca's fiance and sister have been arrested. Oh my God. So the whole family was in on it? Man, that is horrible. Yeah, Avery says it's beyond comprehension. I know. I can't even wrap my head around it. Like I said, it's bad enough. It's one thing when it's a stranger, but when it's your own family, I mean, why would they even do that? I mean, God, horrible. But thank you, Miss Avery, for the super chat. 1 minute. There we go. Oh man. Well, I should have some free time riding on the bus, so I will definitely have enough time to. Lordy mercy, there we go. Oh no, hold on. Jeez. We'll see one more time. Maybe I can get StreamYard to come up. Holy moly, we got hope. Oh, maybe it'll come up. It came up really fast here. Because I see a whole bunch of, okay. There's where I was at. Man. Really what? Patriotism says really what? Really what? What'd I say? There's no telling. There's no telling. What? Maybe StreamYard is going to cooperate. Once again, it's so much easier to look at everything and control everything on my computer. Let me see, what comment do I have up there? Okay. Well, maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. We'll see. We'll see. Well, we got bunches of moo cows. Mustang sent a $5 super sticker. Okay, Miss Avery sent another $5 super chat. Says I was trying to cancel that super chat when you said you hope Georgia wins. Oh goodness. Let me check and see what else we got. Okay, so that is. Let's get all these. Hey, Gibbo Frank is here. Thank you very much. She's been a member for 2 months. Thank you, sir. Okay, so Miss Avery's back again with another $5. Says, okay, you're from Georgia. No, I'm not from Georgia. I was born in Arkansas. My grandpa's family came from Georgia, but I have been to Georgia several times. So she's going to, I forgive you. You don't know any better. Hey, come on. Come on. And the only thing I can say regarding Alabama and Georgia is that a lot of players from Alabama and Georgia do go on and have the great success in the NFL. So if there's a Alabama guy that made it to the NFL, if I'm watching the game, even if I don't like the team or don't have a dog in the fight, depending on who they play for, I will root for the SEC boys, even the Alabama ones. Oh goodness. All right, I think that we got those. Oh no, wait a minute, we got another one. Junior has been a member for 13 months. Thank you much, sir. So everybody gets a cow. Thank you so much, everybody. I truly appreciate it. Once again, anything that I make from the channel, whether it be from memberships, donations through, I have PayPal, I have Buy Me a Coffee, I have Venmo, or not Venmo, Cash App. And then anything from super stickers, super chats goes right back into the channel. Once again, to pay for StreamYard because it's so expensive. So I appreciate everything. Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Patriotism says Miss Mel Ninja. Oh, or do you ninja watch Miss Mel while doing other things? Oh goodness. Fun party person said I went to Piggly. Is there still Piggly Wigglies around? Earlier, and they were sold out of grits. How on earth does that happen? I've never been a fan of grits. Miss Avery misspelled a word. Happens to me all the time. Let's see here. Always good to see you, Boston Christian. Junior says, hopefully I'll be home by Friday. I'm tired of running back and forth. So you're still going back and forth between Michigan and Kentucky. You be careful out there when you're driving, traveling. What the ladies are going wild? Duda was telling somebody to settle down. It'll be anarchy. Let's see. Just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. There's Miss Z. Hello, ma'am. Good to see you. It's Miss Z from Trial Junkies United. I hope you're doing well. I hope Doc's doing well. Please check out Trial Junkies United. They do excellent work over there. My ear's still popping. They usually do a live stream Thursday nights and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. So please be sure to check them out live if you can. There's always a great community, great chat going on, great discussion. Or if you can't be there live, please be Replay Crew on any channel that you watch. If you can't make a live stream, Replay Crew is awesome. And it does help. It does help. Absolutely. Does help, I guess, with the YouTube God's algorithm. Oh, goodness. No. Mustang says kiss my grits. I love that show. What was it? Alice? Was that the show where they worked in the diner? Mel's Diner? I remember that show. There are still Piggly Wigglies around? Avery says yes, they have a Piggly Wiggly. I know there used to be one when I was a kid. There was a Piggly Wiggly in Little Rock or North Little Rock or somewhere up there. I didn't even know they still existed. Yeah, don't try to. Miss Lucy Joe says, how do people even have Christmas trees with kittens? Yeah, no. If you have a cat, especially kittens, you better be have it secured, have a fence around it, because cats especially kittens, love to get in the tree. Yeah, Flo, that was right. I love Flo. Yep, I'll do the oatmeal, absolutely. Oh, my football girl, us football girls. Hey, come on. There's nothing wrong with us football girls. Oh, I haven't had it in a long time. The smell says cream of wheat is way better. Yes. What did I say? It says Doodle says, look at me acting innocent. There's no telling what I did. There's no telling. Absolutely. I will never pass up a chance to give Trial Junkies United, Z and Doc and everybody over there. I think it's just Z and Doc. They do a wonderful job. Absolutely. Let's see. Yes, patriotism's telling Ms. Z, I enjoyed Dr. Rachel on your stream from Sunday. Yes, I got to watch. I had to go back and watch the very first of it. Something happened and I came in late. But yeah, they were talking about the I forgot the girl's name, but the Slender Man case where the girl, I think it was 2 girls, one for sure, the one she was 12 years old, and then she escaped. She was, I just know the basics, very basics of that case. But yeah, the one that she'd been in jail and maybe in a halfway house, or she ended up escaping. They got her back in custody. Yeah, but that whole case is, so that's what their live stream Sunday was about. It was very, very good. Dr. Rachel was very good. Ms. Z and Doc are always good. Let's see. Lisa Doe says there is no fence that's going to keep this little psychopath out of it. Oh, yes. The psychotic kittens. Oh, malto meal. That's what I was thinking about. Yes. Malto meal is my favorite. Had that as a kid, put a whole bunch of sugar in it. I almost said something else. A whole bunch of sugar in it. A little bit of butter. Yes, absolutely. Miss Louise says Trial Junkies United is amazing. I agree. They found who? Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the I can't think of her name. The Slender Man case. Yes, they found her. Yep. There's, I'm assuming it's Miss Brady. It's usually Miss Brady. Welcome. Once again, Miss Brady is from Stolen Spirits, MMIWG. Once again, the link to the YouTube channel is posted at the pinned to the very top of the chat. And then in the description for the live stream, I have the YouTube link once again and the Facebook group link. And I will put, I was going to do that before we got started, but I do have the, let me put it in right quick, the link to the Facebook group. If I can get it to come up, there it is. My ear will quit doing whatever it's doing. Right on. Right, I just put in the link to the Facebook group. Please do check them out. It should be going in, maybe. Might take it a minute. There it goes. But it's good to see you. Like I said, I'm assuming it's Miss Brady. That's usually who it is. And I did private message the group. I don't know who answered me. I don't know if it's Brady or Nicole or somebody else, and said, hey, I'm, which originally was going to be last night. So I'm going to do a MMIP live stream Monday night, which turned out to be tonight, Tuesday night instead. So I'm going to use posters from the group and give you a shout out as always, which I'll give them a shout out anytime, or regardless. So it's always good to have them here. Yes, thank you. Morgan Geyser was the girl's name from the Slender Man case, and she's the one that had escaped. Was it from the halfway, or I say halfway house? From wherever. I don't think she was. I don't think she was. Was she? I don't think she was actually still in jail or prison. I think maybe she was in a. I forgot what they called it. I've slept since then, or haven't slept since then. But anyway, she escaped from wherever she was at. Maybe a group home or something like that. Yeah, Miss Avery says she enjoyed Trial Junkies live the other night. Absolutely. Let's see. Miss Lisa Jo says her Saint Bernard is scared of the kitten. Kittens can be fierce, I'm telling you. Oh, goodness. Absolutely. Okay, so you got, yeah, got the message. Thanks for letting me know. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see. Okay, group home. Yeah, I kept wanting to say halfway house, but I knew that wasn't the right word. Yes, a group home. Thank you. Thank you. Patriotism said they just joined the Facebook group. Thank you. Thank you. Please share. Just, whenever you get a chance, just go over to the group, share out 2 or 3 flyers, or how many ever you want to share. Absolutely. You're most welcome. Miss Brady says, thank you for sharing my flyers and for the shout out. We appreciate it. Absolutely. Anytime. Okay, so caught up. Let me mark mark there. Now that I can control this. So next we have Sharon Christy Williams, which now I can read it off the if I can make it bigger. There we go. So Sharon, if that'll move so I can see. Goodness gracious. Sharon Christy Williams, she has been missing since September 15th, 2025 from Anchorage, Alaska. She's 36 years old at the time she went missing. Indigenous female, brown eyes, black hair, 5'4" tall, 150 pounds. It says she was last seen leaving her assisted living facility in the Spenard area. So if you have any information regarding Christy, contact the Anchorage PD at 907-786-8900. It gives the case number there, or call local police. I don't know if Alaska has 911. But yeah, just call local authorities. They can always get you in touch with the proper authorities. Oh, you're making me hungry. You're talking about putting brown sugar. Oh, do you put a little brown sugar or pancake syrup on your cream of wheat? Brown sugar. Brown sugar. That's what I do anyway. Okay. And I don't think I will. Let me check just to make sure that I did not have any. No, okay. I didn't have any. Like I said, on 2 of the cold cases that because I think both of them are from the 90s, or maybe one's older than that. One's from the 90s and one is very old. I did find a couple of articles, but was not able to find any additional information. Regarding Sharon. All right, so next we have Ashley Nicole Collins. Ashley has been missing from Dulce. I apologize for if I pronounced anything wrong. New Mexico since June 3rd, 2017. She is 20 years old when she went missing. With she has brown eyes and brown hair, 5'3" tall, 150 pounds. She was last seen wearing a black t-shirt, black hoodie with green or brown khaki cargo pants, and a black baseball cap. She has gauged ears, which are those like round circle things with the holes in them that you see some people wearing in their ears. She was last seen. So this made me. I mean, I always don't have a good feeling when it says they were last seen getting into any kind of vehicle. And that could have been a friend's vehicle, but it says she was last seen getting into a black full-size truck outside of her mother's home in Dulce which is on the Yicarilla. Once again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Yicarilla Apache Reservation around midnight. Make sure I didn't miss any of the information. So if you do have any information regarding Ashley, please call the Yicarilla Apache Police Department at 575-759-3222. It has her NamUs case number there on the flyer. Or once again, call local police. Y'all still talking about, y'all gonna make me hungry. Okay, Dulce, thank you. Thank you. Man, y'all gotta stop talking about this food. I'm kidding. All right. Next we have the Ruthie Kindness. I was able to find, what was I able to find on her? Let me see. I have a couple of things. She was on the Charlie Project. There is don't let me forget to put it in. There is a Facebook group for her, so I'll put that in chat. It's also, once again, everything that I use is linked in the description box also. But Ruthie has been missing since February 7th, 2011 from Parkland, Washington. She's a Native American female. She was just 20 years old at the time she went missing. She'll be 35 years old as of 2025. When she went missing, she was 5'3" to 5'4" tall and 110 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. It says that she may have highlights in her hair and may wear acrylic fingernails, and she may use the alias name Ann Hager or Hager as Heger or Hagger, and her ears are pierced. So Ruthie was last seen in the vicinity of 126th Street and South Pacific Avenue in Parkland on February 7, 2011. Earlier that day, she had been released from police custody in Federal Way, Washington, after her arrest for an outstanding warrant. Ruthie called her mother from a payphone at the Paradise Bowling Alley on Pacific Avenue. After that, she has never been seen or heard from again. She is considered to be endangered, missing. She graduated from Fife High School. She was a freshman at California State University, Northridge, at the time of her disappearance. She had no cell phone when she went missing. She was homeless at the time of her disappearance, but her loved ones stated that she frequented, I have trouble with that word too, frequented the Federal Way, Puyallup, and Milton, Washington areas, and the Auburn, Washington Police Department are apparently the ones investigating her case. So if you do have any information, you can call the Auburn PD at 253-931-3080. Let's see what else. See what this had. That any other additional information. So there was after I read this, I will put in the Facebook group because I did look at it. I don't think there's been much posted on it since maybe 2013 or so. But this is from truecasefiles.com, and they do have some stuff that her parents or family have posted in the Facebook group. So just once again, Ruthie Kindness vanished at the age of 20 on February 7th, 2011. She'd been released from police custody. I can't want to say public custody. Police custody in Federal Way, Washington on an outstanding warrant just hours before her disappearance. She called her mother from the payphone at the bowling alley. That was the last time her family heard from her. Ruthie has been classified as an endangered missing person. Despite this, investigators have not released many details about her disappearance. So maybe that's why I couldn't find anything. So a Facebook page entitled "Where's Ruthie" states that Ruthie's loved ones believe that she was a victim of foul play. So 2 years after Ruthie's disappearance, a post was shared to the Facebook page that stated, quote, "We have some tips, info, names, and there will be answers and justice for Ruthie one day for sure. There are people that she hung out with out in the Parkland area where we believe that they are hiding a sick secret. We believe they did something to her and are walking around scot-free, and there are others who know about it, yet don't say anything or just ignore us or lie," end quote. So, we know how, word on the street, that's how you hear, that's how police actually find a lot of their information too, word on the street. But this comes from, I guess, her family. So the article goes on to say, it is clear that Ruthie's loved ones have certain persons of interest in mind. However, said persons have not been publicly named or identified. It says there is a monetary reward in place for anyone with information that could lead to Ruthie's whereabouts. Once again, if you have any information that could help the investigation, contact the Auburn PD at 253-931-3080. Let me find the which, once again, the link to the group, to the Facebook group, is also in the description box. But if anybody, I'll put it in chat also if anybody wants to check it out. Oh, do we have a troll? Hold on. Mustang says you're the troll catcher. Do we have any problem? What is this? Oh goodness. Was it Mr. Dong? Mr. Dong? Was that taken care of? Oh goodness. See, I leave for 2 seconds. That's why I have these wonderful mods who catch stuff like that. What? Let me make sure there's not anything else. Let me get caught up. Okay, there's where I was at. See, yeah, there's Chris. Chris is still here. Yes, Doodle says she is very beautiful. Absolutely, she is. Y'all with this food talk. Thank you, Miss Brady. She says she's got to go work on a reel for a mama of a missing lady. Absolutely. I'll catch y'all later. Much love. Stay safe. Thank you so much. Same ditto, ma'am. Always good to have you here. What is this? I don't know what Mr. Good here is doing. Anyway. Miss Paul wants to know any suspects. Not that it, well, on Ruthie's case, apparently her family and possibly, because I'm assuming they did go to the what I said, the Auburn PD, Auburn Washington PD is handling this. Yeah, Auburn Washington PD. But apparently her family said that they had received, let me go back to, they had received some tips and leads and names. Let me see how they put it in the statement. It says, we have a quote, we have some tips, info, names, and there will be answers and justice for Ruthie one day for sure. So apparently her family, not like I said, I don't know if it was word on the street or, because I did mention it could, mention some people that Ruthie could have been hanging out with. But they have not been publicly identified, which is understandable because, if they've not been charged with anything. So, but apparently, and I'm assuming that the family did go to the police with whatever tips and leads, or maybe the tips came into the police and the police let the family know, or, vice versa. And hopefully anything that's come in, hopefully is being looked into or has been looked into. So I'm assuming maybe persons of interest. I don't know about suspects, persons of interest, possibly at the very least, or just, maybe some people that just want to come in and interview and say, hey, do you know anything? Do you see anything? We heard this, we heard that, Thank you. No more trolls. Thank you. Thank you. What? Do we have another one? All I saw was Mr. Ding Dong or Ding Dong or whatever that talking about doing the Macarena. I don't know. That's all the only one I saw. Well, look who we got here. Mr. True Crime, Mr. True Crime Web, Mr. Steve from True Crime Web. Hello, Mr. Steve. Good to see you. It is Mr. Steve, the national treasure in the house. He says, I show up and hear troll, not me. No, you're not the troll. You're never a troll, sir. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope the family's doing well. I hope y'all had a good holiday, a good Thanksgiving. It's always good to see. Please do check out True Crime Web. Absolutely. Check out the YouTube channel. And I do have, oh, dang. I think it's truecrimeweb.com. Check out truecrimeweb.com. They do have he runs a nonprofit that he uses to go out and help families free of charge. Mr. Steve, once again, for anybody who doesn't know, former law enforcement, former CSI. He's retired but now he goes out and helps families free of charge. Look for their loved ones, helps out with cases, cold cases, any kind of cases, mostly cold cases. Boots on the ground. We love our Mr. Steve around here. But all the information for the nonprofit and all that is on the website, truecrimeweb.com. Then once again, it's True Crime Web on YouTube. Yeah, always good to see Mr. Steve. So yeah, y'all are fast because I didn't even see anything except for the one thing about some weird stuff and about doing the Macarena. I don't know. That's all I can make out on that one. Yes, everybody loves seeing Mr. Steve. Yeah, Mustang wants to know Mr. Steve is staying warm. Mr. Steve says Double Lot, which is one of the grandsons, came by with a hoodie on. It's like in the 70s. Oh my God. I would be in shorts and flip-flops if here in Arkansas in the 70s. That is my perfect mid-70s. Keep in mind, I live in Arkansas, so we very rarely get this. You know, mid-70s, low to mid-70s, no humidity, sun shining, perfect weather. I would not be wearing a hoodie. Oh, it kills me. But I see, especially, which, you know, we're talking about going to Walmart earlier. But, you know, I see, especially when I'm working doing Spark, I'll be sitting on the car and just people watch when I'm sitting out in the parking lot. And I see the kids, usually teenagers, young adults, younger ones, they have the hoodie on and they have shorts and flip-flops. What's the point? For real, what's the point? I don't even understand that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just never seen the point in having a big hoodie on and shorts and flip-flops when it's like 70, 80, 90 degrees outside. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Mustang says she's in shorts even in the 50s. Yeah, it was like it got up to we had highs. I think it got up to 39 or 40 here today. And when I went out to work, I wore my jeans. I did put jeans on. I didn't wear my short. Oh, I don't wear short capris or my rolled up jeans. And I just had like a light jacket that I wore, and I was fine. I was fine. The older I get, the hotter I stay. I stay hot. Have the hot flashes. Anyway, let's see. All right, so I'm caught up again. So let me see what else I had on Ruthie. I think maybe she does have a web or a thread on Web Sleuths. I don't know if I had any other. Oh shoot, forgot to change tabs. I don't know if there was maybe a little bit of info on Web Sleuths that was different from what we've talked about. Let's see. Well, that's just she had some municipal court records, which that's neither here nor there. Has nothing to do with her being missing, so we won't go into that. Okay, so maybe one of her or somebody that went to school with her posted on Web Sleuths, and you have to be verified. Once again, I don't know what the process is for to be verified on Web Sleuths before you can post anything as fact on any cases or about whoever the thread is about, the missing person or whatever. But she or somebody had posted, I don't know if it's a he or she, in August of 2020. I went to school with Ruthie, and I was actually only recently made aware of her disappearance within the last 2 years when I was browsing the missing persons database. I really liked Ruthie. We lived in a small town, so everyone knew each other. Absolutely. She was very quiet and shy, but she was very kind. Her home life always seemed rocky. She fell asleep a lot in class, and we all knew that she had ventured into substance abuse much sooner than most people of her age, or she said our age at that time, which that's neither here nor there. Ruthie was released from police custody in federal way just hours before her disappearance. We went through that. This person says, I reposted some information about her disappearance on Facebook, and her case was almost completely unknown in Ording, where we went to school. So see, even in the very community that she went missing from, or where she grown up at, or whatever, didn't even know that she's missing. That's how little attention that these cases get. Let's see. My husband went to school in Fife and graduated the same year. He had never heard of her and wasn't aware of her disappearance. And now that I posted this on Facebook, a lot of people who knew her are shocked to hear that she is missing. This person goes on to say, the reason I can't stop thinking about this case is because there's really no information that has been released from Auburn PD. Her family, which whoever posted this says, I believe, is an aunt and an uncle, did start a Facebook page, which I put the link in, following her disappearance under the name Where's Ruthie, with some very alarming posts based on what is publicly posted. The family believes that Ruthie is no longer alive and that she has friends who know what happened to her. A friend of Ruthie's by the name, I'm not going to give the name of A, had reportedly notified other people after Ruthie disappeared that she was in fact deceased. Now, once again, take this with a grain of salt. This is not coming from any law enforcement or, well, it might have come from family. If it comes from the Facebook page, family is what family has heard or has been told. So this friend said, I don't know, I lost my place. So this friend A had reportedly notified other people after Ruthie disappeared that she was in fact deceased. Once the family heard this, they tried reaching out many times for clarification or information on why she was saying that she was saying, claiming that Ruthie was no longer with us. In addition to A's comments, the family had heard that Ruthie's friend Jay had also been talking about details of Ruthie's death. These conversations allude to someone, I'm not going to give out names. Well, it's kind of a nickname, someone named J-Rock, I don't know, being integral to the case. The group of friends conversations, specifically Jay, led the family to believe that something had happened to Ruthie at the home of one of the friends' mothers, who just so happened to be the ex-girlfriend of this J person, male person. He is described as I'm not going to give he's a tall, thin male in his 30s who frequented the Tacoma Parkland area. There's a Facebook comment suggesting that this person was in prison in 2013 and that they have children. So some people have mentioned her court criminal history. It says, one thing I will note is that the older gentleman who took out 2 restraining orders, or at least started the process, is apparently a stepfather. He still resides in the town, so this person was looking into it. Says the restraining order she took out against Jay is very concerning, as she states that he attempted to essay her and threatened to take her life, which was, they say this was 2 years prior to her disappearance, and he was still friends with her on Facebook at the time. This person says, I also considered that he might be this nickname person, but it was not. The description didn't match. So just some interesting information from the family, or what the family has been told. Now, who, once again, they're the family at that time. Once again, this is posted in 2020. The family was still trying to reach out to get clarification of, where did you hear this? Why are you saying this? What did you hear? Do you have any proof? Whatever. So, let's see if they posted anything else. So apparently someone else that came on this thread posted some stuff, because the mod did say that some comments were removed because this person who posted it wasn't validated. And if this person who had posted it, it's not the one I was just reading from, is a different person, did become validated, apply to become validated, then the post will be available for everybody. So that leads me to assume that the person that I was reading from was validated, because this information would not have been visible on Web Sleuths. About the friends coming forward and saying that, they believe Ruthie was, or knew that Ruthie was deceased. I'm assuming they would not have allowed that to be seen if it hadn't been validated. So anyway, see if there's anything else on here. So somebody else posted in 2021. It's been more than 10 years since Ruthie went missing. Is a sad case surrounded by what for now we have to consider as rumors and a lack of attention. I don't know what was done in the investigation by Ellie, or maybe nothing was done. It wouldn't surprise, that person said, it wouldn't surprise me if they dropped the ball on this girl. As she said, or this person says, I've read where Ruthie's website is talking about the Facebook page. It feels like her loved ones have to travel through a very, very thick fog. Says there are people out there advocating for the missing and murdered and missing Native Americans who have been neglected for too long. Absolutely. So yeah, just a very. See if there's anything else. There's apparently some discretion on what day she actually went missing, or when she made the phone call. But once again, it's nothing from law enforcement. All right, so I think that was it on her. Yes, I went through that. I put the Facebook link in. Okay. Get back over here. Whoa, don't do that. What did I do? Oh, goodness gracious. I'm moving things around and didn't mean to. Let me get caught up in your comments. What is it doing? I was going the wrong way. Dang. Messed up all my comments when I. Oh, goodness. It's not one thing, it's another. I might be having a dumpster fire and one of Miss Doodle's train wrecks all at the same time. Thank you for being here, Miss Mel. She said my eyes are closing. Good night, everyone. So glad to see you all. Good to see you too, Miss Mel. Good to see you back. Boston Christian says my son was out shoveling snow at 6 a.m. to dig his truck out for work. Oh my goodness. Me no like to shovel. Well, we don't have to shovel snow. The most we have to do here in Arkansas when it snows is because here in Arkansas, if we get a dust, 2 snowflakes, people run out to Walmart to get their They're milking bread in the TP. I guess I don't know. They're gonna make milk and bread sandwiches. I never understood that. They're milking their bread in their TP. TP. Oh goodness, we don't go out of the house if it's. Yes, Ms. Z says, let's hope that some of these people went to the police. Absolutely. Hashtag silence is betrayal. Absolutely. Just spreading rumors doesn't help. If you think you know something, say something. Absolutely. See, and I don't know, because the family, now that not from what I read on Web Sleuths, but from that True Crime Files, that was taken directly from the Facebook group. Her family had posted that they, from what they've heard, they do believe in their hearts that Ruthie may not. Well, let's hope that's not the case, but they think that she's no longer with us. So I don't know if it's what these friends, supposed friends, or whoever it was that had said, and I don't know if they told the family, who they told. Like I said, just word on the street, that they said, yeah, she is deceased, or we think she is. We're pretty sure. If that's why the family is saying that, or if it's something else that they've learned, I don't know. But hey, Miss PJ, this is Miss PJ. For anybody that doesn't know, Freedom Fighter GG is Miss PJ. Unfortunately, for some reason, her Lighting Their Way Home, her original channel, got shut down, and so now she started a new one, called Freedom Fighter GG. So please do go over there and subscribe if you haven't already. It's good to see Miss PJ. Thank you, Mustangs, getting links in. Hey, real Ron Logan, good to see you. He said we ain't got no grits up here, but I love a bowl of oatmeal with brown sugar. Oh yes, if I eat oatmeal, I got to have some brown sugar in it. Yes, absolutely. Doodle says, please go sub to Miss PJ's new channel. Let's see. What, me? Yes, I was talking about the S word. Are you talking about me? I don't like the S word. You are very welcome, Miss PJ, always. Hey, Mark, good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So let's see who we have next. Oh, goodness. So this is one of our cold cases. As you can see there, I'm going to cry again. That sweet little angel face that you see there on the screen. Let me give you the basic information. This is little Teekah Lewis. Lord, I have to make this super big so I can read it off the screen. Little Teekah has been missing from Tacoma, Washington since January 23rd, 1999. She was just 2 years old when she went missing. She's a Native American Black. She has brown hair and black eyes. When she went missing, she was 3 feet tall, 35 pounds. She was last seen wearing a green Tweety Bird shirt, white sweatpants, red, white, and black Air Jordan shoes. She has skin discoloration on her face and her left buttocks. She was last seen at the Frontier bowling lanes. So I'm going to go into, I did find, there's actually an article, I believe, from January or February of this year. So a recent article with an interview with her mother. It'll break your heart. So she was last seen at the Frontier bowling lanes. Witnesses reported seeing a maroon Pontiac Grand Am, possibly late 80s, early 90s model with dark tinted windows and a large spoiler speeding away from the bowling alley. Another witness saw a white male, approximately 5'11", with a husky build, brown curly or wavy hair, a mustache, and a pockmarked face, who may have been following a child to the exit. Once again, we'll get more into this. So this is considered a non-family abduction. So if you have any information, call the Tacoma Police Department at 253-287-4455 or NCMEC 1-800-843-5678, or your local law enforcement 911. So I do have the Trolley Project information. I'll go over that first. So once again, Teekah was last seen on January 23rd, 1999 in Tacoma, Washington. Classification, non-family abduction. She is a biracial, Black, Native American, and white. Once again, just 2 years old when she went missing. Already went over clothing description. She is asthmatic. She required medical supervision as well as the use of an inhaler and or ventilator. She received medical care prior to her 1999 disappearance at Indian Health Practitioners in Puyallup, Washington, which is a nationwide clinic available for Native Americans. So we have this maroon vehicle that we're going to talk about. She is a Black, white, and Native American descent. She has a large birthmark, once again, on her left buttock, and red natural highlights in her hair. She has patches of light discoloration on her face and the left side of her buttocks as a result of eczema. She has facial dimples, and her ears were pierced. And I don't know if... So that age progression is to 26, I believe. That's there on the poster. Or there's two of them on there. The two different ones, they're both age progressed to 26. All right, so Teekah and nearly a dozen of her family members spent the evening of January 23rd, 1999 at New Frontier Lanes Bowling Alley on Center Street in Tacoma. Teekah was last seen playing a race car video game in the arcade section of the bowling alley between 10 and 10:15 p.m. She was just a few feet away from her family members and approximately 6 feet from the building's exit. So her mother, Teresa, said that she turned away for a moment, and we'll get into even more details in the article. So it was her. Apparently, it was her mother's turn to bowl, and she told her other family members, keep an eye on Teekah while I bowl, and then So she turned away to take her turn, and then when she turned back, Teekah was gone, basically. She has never been seen again. An extensive search of the area produced few clues as to her whereabouts. A witness at the bowling alley told authorities that an unidentified maroon Pontiac Grand Am sped out of the parking lot during the night Teekah disappeared. The vehicle may have had 4 doors and was possibly a late 1980s or early 1990s model with dark tinted windows and a large spoiler. Another witness stated that an unidentified white male may have followed a child to one of the bowling alley's exits during the night. The individual is described as being in his 30s with shoulder-length brown hair, facial pock marks, a mustache, and a large nose. Investigators do not know if the vehicle or this unidentified man are connected to Teekah's case. So this is not the first time that something like this has happened in this bowling alley. And not blaming the bowling alley, but apparently it was a beacon for predators. So in November of 1998, which was 2 months before Teekah disappeared, a 4-year-old boy was SA'd in the bathroom at this New Frontier Lanes bowling alley. And once again, I forgot to put up my creeper for the trigger warning. Sorry about that. So once again, 2 months before Teekah disappeared, a 4-year-old boy was SA'd in the bathroom at the bowling alley. The suspect for that one had a brown curly hair and a beard, and 2 security guards believed that they had seen him at the bowling alley before, but did not know his name. So then a few weeks after that, a white male with brown hair tried to lure a 6-year-old boy from the same bowling alley, claiming that he was the child's father. So that's 3, if you count Teekah. There's Teekah and this 4-year-old boy, and now we have a 6-year-old that was somebody tried to lure him out, claiming he was the child's father. Earlier on the day that Teekah went missing, a man with curly brown hair attempted to take 2 children from a park, which was less than a mile from the bowling alley. So at the park, thankfully, the child's father chased whoever that was away, and they said that he fled in a blue 1995 Pontiac Grand Am. So either we've got, which is entirely possible, we've got more than one predator that's operating in this general area within a mile radius between a bowling alley and this park that they said was, what, a mile away, less than a mile away? Which is scary to think about, but once again, it could have been 2 different people or more. But which is the same general description of the person, white male, brown curly hair. And then the park one said that the man fled away drove away, fled in the 1995 Pontiac Grand Am. And then in Teekah's case, or in the bowling alley case, you have somebody that may or may not be linked to any of these cases, or the Teekah's case, that was possibly driving a dark colored Pontiac Grand Am, late 80s, early 90s model. I mean, possible it could be just, one person. Or please let me know what you guys think. So in the park incident, the children's father did not report the incident to the police until 3 days later, after he found out about Teekah's disappearance on the news. No arrests were made in any of these cases, and it's unclear whether they're related to Teekah's apparent kidnapping. Teekah's biological father was in prison at the time of her disappearance. He has been ruled out as a suspect in her case. Teekah is described as having a quiet, shy personality. She enjoyed eating candy. She loved Starburst. Who doesn't? Who doesn't love Starburst? Foul play is suspected in her case, which remains unsolved. So if you have any information, you can call the Tacoma PD at 253-798-4721, or the FBI at 202-324-3000. So that's the basic Charlie Project information. And see, which one do I run and read? I've got a bunch of articles on her. The other ones are well, except for the first. The main one is the longest one, but so let me do that one first, because the other ones kind of won't make a whole lot of sense unless I read the first one. All right, so this article, let me get a drink right quick, and is from NBC News. I think it's maybe part of the NBC News Datelines. NBC News website does a whole lot of good articles on missing persons and cold cases. And this article is from February of this year, 2025. And once again, it's interview with the mom and maybe some of the law enforcement that has worked on it. And then it goes into more detail about when she went missing, and this mysterious person in this car will make a whole lot more sense. All right, so it says Teekah Lewis's disappearance from Tacoma, Washington haunts family 26 years later. So January 23rd, 1999, that night, the New Frontier Bowling Alley was full. There were couples on dates, or kids with their friends and families gathered for a fun night out. Teresa, and I'm apologizing in advance, so I'm probably going to butcher this name. Teresa Shapuski, which I think in the Charlie Project, it said her last name was English. Was there too. She had come with a large group, some family friends, her boyfriend, and 2 of her daughters. So this is Teekah's mother. So Teresa told Dateline, it was my turn to bowl. I told my brother and my boyfriend at the time, make sure you watch Teekah. So the 2-year-old Teekah was playing games in the bowling alley's arcade when her mother was up to bowl. And when Teresa's turn was over, she said, quote, I turned around and asked them where my Teekah was. Teresa was told that Teekah was still playing games in the arcade, which once again was just a few feet away, they said. She said Teresa was told that Teekah was still playing games in the arcade. The area was full of people, so surely one of them had to be her. And that's what her family told Teresa. And Teresa said, quote, no, she's not. Where's my baby? You know, she's not there. I don't see her. Where's she at? So Teekah, unfortunately, was gone. So for a parent, those first couple of years of a child's life are special. The first steps, the first giggles, the first time hearing them say mama. Teresa experienced that warm feeling with 5 children, all girls. Teekah was her 4th. Teresa said, quote, that little girl was a mommy's girl. If I had to go to the store, she would cry. She was my everything, end quote. So Teresa raised her girls in Tacoma, Washington, where the streets felt safe. She says, quote, I would let my daughters play outside, and of course, I would be watching them, but it took a turn in 1999. So the day started out like any normal Saturday, according to Teresa. She said, quote, my boyfriend at the time was in the military. He had a cousin on Fort Lewis, so we went there, and then on the way back, we stopped at the Taco Bell. And at the time, Teekah's father was incarcerated, so Teresa was raising her daughters alone. That evening, Teresa took her twin daughters to their godmother's house. She said they like to go over there because they had a god sister there that was their age. She then dropped off another one of her daughters at her uncle's house, and they watched her while the rest of the family went to the bowling alley. So Teresa said that she decided to take her youngest two, Teekah and Tamika, with her to the bowling alley because she knew that they would be a handful for anyone to watch. She says, quote, so I took Teekah and Tamika with me. I put Teekah in white sweats, a green Tweety Bird shirt, and her Jordans, and she had a jacket on, and she was carrying a little purse with her. So around 8 p.m., they headed to the bowling alley with Teresa's brother, her boyfriend, and other family and friends. And Teresa said that is when the nightmare began. The new Frontier Bowling Alley in Tacoma was packed. Teresa said there's a pretty good crowd there. There were other kids there. Teresa says that Teekah immediately noticed the games in the bowling alley's arcade, and of course she wanted to play. She says, quote, my brother gave her some change, and she was, putting pennies in the machine. They were just coming right back out. But she said Teekah didn't know that. So Teekah had found a car game that she liked, and she was pretending to drive while Teresa kept an eye on her. So then it was Teresa's turn to bowl. And when Teresa's turn was over, she asked her brother and boyfriend where Teekah was. So they assumed that she was playing games in the arcade and that they just couldn't see her. She was small. She was just 2 years old. I think they said that she was 3 feet tall at the time. And so Teresa said she thought maybe she was in between the video games or just somewhere, where she just couldn't see her because she was so small. But unfortunately, she was not. So Teresa said, obviously panic set in. She says, I looked in the bathroom. She wasn't in there. I immediately went down to the other end of the bowling alley where there was another bathroom. She says, my sister-in-law was in there with her baby, and I asked her, is Teekah in there? And she says, no, she did not come with me. So Teresa says that she ran up to the bowling alley's security officer and told him that her daughter was missing, and that he basically said, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, she's missing. So Teresa told her she's nowhere. I searched everywhere. She's not anywhere. She's gone. So according to Teresa, the officer did make an announcement on the intercom, and eventually, it says eventually, now I don't know how much time passed, eventually called for police backup. Teresa said backup came. I had my boyfriend at the time sit with my daughter, Tamika, who was just 10 months old at the time. So she was in her car seat asleep. Teresa says she went outside. She was yelling for Teekah's name over and over. She was talking to the police officer. And then she said that's when Teresa says something strange happened. So, guys, this gets even more, as if it wasn't bad enough. So Teresa says, I'm outside with the police, and my sister-in-law ran up to me and said, Teresa, that woman has your baby. But it wasn't Teekah that she was talking about. So according to Teresa, earlier in the night, a woman who was with a group of men was sitting next to them in the bowling alley asking to hold babies. I'm sorry, but if I have a baby or a child, I'm not going to let somebody, complete strangers, hold it. Just me. That's just the way I am. So they had this woman with a group of men who was just sitting there asking to hold babies. So Teresa says, my brother let her hold his son, but they were right there watching her, and then she gave them right back. And she goes on to say she wanted to hold him again, and my brother said no because he thought it was very odd. Yeah, just a little bit. So it was the same woman who reportedly had Teresa's youngest daughter, Teekah, the 10-month-old. So Teresa was like, what? What's going on? And the sister-in-law kept saying she has Teekah in her car, fixing to leave with her. So it was the same woman who reportedly had Teresa's youngest, Teekah. Okay, I read that. So Teresa told Dateline that she ran up to this woman's car and she saw Teekah was buckled into the back seat of the car, and the woman was fixing to drive off with Teekah. And she said, she told the lady, hey, you got my daughter. She said this, and she said, the woman said, this ain't your baby. So Teresa told Dateline that she doesn't know how the woman got the baby, got Teekah, but she did call over a police officer who did arrest the woman, and they gave Teekah back. So thank God for that. But Teekah was still missing. So officers from around the state came to assist with the search. Teresa said there were so many police officers that they came from everywhere. They came from Lakewood. They came from Pierce County sheriffs, Fife. They came from everywhere to help search. But the case belonged to the Tacoma Police Department. Teresa said the bowling alley was searched. The parking lot was shut down. The vehicles were searched. Trunks were searched. According to Sergeant Julie Dyer of the Tacoma PD, she told Dateline, she says that whole area was scoured with dogs, with people on foot. Sergeant Dyer told Dateline that she believes the woman was spoken to, that Teekah was spoken to at the time. She says, quote, initially at the scene, she made apparently some self-harm threats when she was detained after the baby was taken from her. She says, I believe they talked to her at the time, but I haven't found the report. So there apparently is no, or she couldn't find, hopefully there was a report. I mean, they said they arrested her. So days passed, weeks passed, still no sign of Teekah. Teresa said, I'll never forget that day. They took my everything from me. They took a piece of my heart. So Teresa had to let her other daughters know, the ones that were staying with friends and family, that their baby sister was not coming home. And she just basically said, your sister was kidnapped, and they didn't understand, obviously. Just heartbreaking. So the families passed out flyers. They did news interviews, anything they could do to try and find Teekah. Shortly after Teekah's disappearance, another family came forward with a chilling story. Teresa said these parents came forward and said, hey, this has happened. This is what happened to us. So this is regarding the 4-year-old boy. So just 2 months before Teekah's disappearance, a 4-year-old boy allegedly had been essayed in that same bowling alley's bathroom. Once again, the man was never caught. Sergeant Dyer told Dateline, quote, that was looked into, but with there being 0 eyewitnesses to what actually happened, there was no connection made. And then on the same night of Teekah's disappearance, there was another reported incident. So this is the park incident. A man was seen fleeing a local park in a Pontiac Grand Am after trying to kidnap children there. Sergeant Dyer confirmed the incident, but said, quote, there was nothing concrete that could link Teekah's kidnapping to that case. But that Pontiac was an important detail, obviously. So Teresa told Dateline that a witness said on the same day that Teekah disappeared, a Pontiac Grand Am was seen speeding away from the bowling alley. The witness said that she was driving into the bowling alley, I'm assuming coming in, and that this car sped out and almost hit her. And she described it to be almost a plum-colored Pontiac. So since she began investigating the case about 5 years ago, Sergeant Dyer has done a lot of digging into that car. She says, quote, there was some allegations that somebody had obtained a Pontiac that might have had stains in the back. I contacted those people and they did not remember anything about any stains in the car, and the car has since been destroyed, end quote. So while the sergeant didn't find the car, she did find a lead. She said, quote, we did have a suspect of sorts, which was discovered by way of looking at all the calls that came into 911 that night. So apparently one of the calls that came into 911 the night Teekah disappeared was from a concerned mother. So Sergeant Dyer says this lady called and said that her son had made some weird statements about wanting to leave town and asking would she leave with him. So the woman asked officers to perform a welfare check on the son, who was in his 40s, at his residence. And Sergeant Dyer said that he has what she said, quote, he had some interesting history that was sexual in nature. So Sergeant Dyer pulled up a picture of him. She said he matched the description of someone at the bowling alley that night. She says, quote, I think a mother and son had seen an individual walking through the bowling alley holding a little girl's hand. The individual they had seen had been a white male with longish hair with a very pockmarked face. As I said, he kind of matched the son that the mother called. The son kind of matched that description. So Sergeant Dyer says that she did track the man down who did live near the bowling alley at the time of Teekah's disappearance. Sergeant Dyer said, quote, he could not provide us with anything that helped or harmed the case. He said he did have a Pontiac, but it was not the same Pontiac that was seen, end quote. So a month after their initial contact with the man, Sergeant Dyer says that they went back to speak with him again. But when they went back this time, he was deceased. So Sergeant Dyer says we did get his DNA just in case. So the fact that he matched that description, the call made that night, and at some point he had involvement with a Pontiac kind of sparked our attention. Most definitely. So the sergeant noted that this man did have a history of mental health issues. There was nothing suspicious about his death, according to them. He is considered a person of interest in Teekah's disappearance. Sergeant Dyer says that she also recently paid a visit to the woman who had tried to take Tamika that night at the bowling alley. But she says, quote, her mental health deteriorated so bad that it's impossible to get anything from her. So I don't know what kind of mental health condition she had, but apparently she couldn't recall anything. So Teresa wishes that authorities had gotten to her sooner, to this woman. Teresa says, quote, there's no questioning her. There's no giving her a polygraph. She is that gone. So I don't know if maybe it didn't say how old she was, or doesn't matter how old you are. She could have possibly had early onset dementia or just something that kept her from being able to remember or to communicate with anybody. But still, Teresa is determined to find out what happened to her daughter. So the new Frontier Bowling Alley has been torn down, but the memories of what happened there cannot be erased. Teresa says, quote, who would want to take a child away from their family, end quote. Teresa told Dateline that it's been a decades-long battle for her daughter's case to get the attention that it deserves. She says, quote, I'm fighting for mine. I will do anything to find Teekah. I don't wish this on any parent, and I tell parents, keep an eye on your child because it only takes a second for your child to come up missing, end quote. And unfortunately, that is very true. So 3 years after Teekah disappeared, Teresa had another daughter. She says the way that she parented after her daughter's disappearance changed. She says, quote, I didn't want them to go to anybody's house because I did not trust anybody. People think when you have a missing child, your life goes on, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. She says, I got PTSD from it. I have depression, anxiety. I carry that all with me. She says it has also affected the way that her daughters raise their kids. Teresa said, if you have experienced a missing sibling, you are going to be cautious. Absolutely. So although it's been 26 years, Teresa says that she and her daughters never forgot Teekah and never will. She says Teekah turns 29 on the 4th of July. Every year I'll buy a cupcake and light it and put her picture by it and sing happy birthday to her. She said that was Teekah's holiday, Christmas and her birthday. Sergeant Julie Dyer told Dateline that she is hopeful that one day they will find out what happened to Teekah. She says, quote, with every day that passes, it gets harder and harder, obviously, so we really would like to get some answers for Teresa and her family, but it's going to require somebody saying something. Absolutely. Teresa now lives in Virginia, but every year she holds a vigil in Washington to celebrate Teekah's life. She could not get back to Washington this year, so she held it online. She said, this was the first year I did not have a candlelight vigil for my daughter back home. But Teresa does not need to be in Washington to honor her daughter. Teekah is always with her. She says, quote, if Teekah is still out there, I want her to know I never gave up. I will never give up finding you. I just want you home, end quote. So once again, anyone with information about her disappearance is asked to call the Tacoma Police Department at 253-591-5950. It's just heartbreaking. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, with that many incidents at that bowling alley or in that area, you have what, 2 at the bowling alley, 1 at the park, which is just less than a mile away. Either there's absolutely possible it was more than one person. But to me, I don't believe in coincidences. And they had the same basic description of the guy. It had it had the same description of the car. I don't know. Like I said, I don't believe in coincidences, but anyway, let me get back into your comments for a minute, and then I'll go. I push something and everything goes away. And get back down to where I was here. And then I do have 2 other shorter articles. One about an excavation they did at this, it talked about this guy. The mother had called. It said her son had made some weird statements about wanting to leave town and asked if she would go with him. And then so they went to question him. He kind of matched the description of somebody that was supposedly seen at the bowling alley the night that Teekah disappeared. He said he had a Pontiac at one point, but he didn't have it anymore. He was named a person of interest, and they went back like a month later, I think it was. He was deceased. They said nothing suspicious, but I think it was his house that they went back to and did some excavation, just looking around. So we'll talk about that. Let me get caught up in your comments right quick. Oh, I went down too far. I can't keep forgetting to mark where I left off at. Oh, there, I missed it. There we go. Okay. Yes, absolutely. At least Joe said a man I think could be responsible is deceased. Yeah. And it didn't say if he died, if it was natural causes, if it was something else. But I said it wasn't suspicious. So I'm going to assume that it was natural. I'm assuming it probably, if they said it wasn't suspicious, well, I don't know if they consider self-harm suspicious. So I'm going to assume it was natural causes. Natural causes. Yeah, look at that little face. It just breaks my heart. Lisa Joe says Madison worked on her case a lot. Are you talking about Teekah's case? You might not be talking to me. I'm sorry. Hello, Beasley Drummond. Welcome. Good to have you here. It's a new name for me, but welcome. I'm glad to have you here. We are glad to have you here. Yep, I'm gonna have to get up. You talking about Gibbo? I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I saw he did a live stream the other day. I got to get caught up. That's probably what I'll do when I'm riding on the bus for hours and hours. Is put my little earbuds in and get caught up. I'll be replay crew and a lot of live streams that I've missed like the last few days. It did not say. It just said he had a large nose and a pock-marked face. So I mean that would kind of stand out, you know. Yeah, Mustang says major predator with the red flags. Absolutely. Yep, Mustang says that bowling alley is a predator hub. I know. I was just thinking because you had the 2 or 3 incidents. She had either 2 or 3, 2 for sure. No, it was. So you had Teekah that disappeared. You had this other woman that was seen with this group of men that ended up trying to take Tamika, her little Teekah's little 10-month-old sister, the same night. And then you had the 4-year-old that was attacked in the bathroom there. And then you had the park incident that was less than a mile away from the bowling alley. So yeah, it seems like that area is just. But you know, you got to think the bowling alleys, you know, back in the day, you know, this was 1999. Bowling alley, and I don't know if bowling alley still may be popular. I don't know. It's been a while since I went bowling. But yeah, back in the 1980s, 1990s, the bowling alley, skating rinks were popular hangouts for families and teenagers and kids. So you would think it was pretty crowded. So yeah, that's just. And I'm not saying this in a good or a glib way, but a predator's playground. I mean, you know, it's just so scary. Yeah, Miss Balla says start your engines, red flaggy, absolutely. Mark says close down the bowling alley. Yeah, they said it was eventually torn down. I don't know how long after Teekah's disappearance that they tore it down, but they said it was eventually torn down. Paula says, I take it the bowling alley didn't tell the parents that they had to purge St. Round. The bowling alley might not have known. I mean, they can't keep an eye on, you know, I'm not in any way blaming the bowling alley, people that work there. Like I said, it's very busy. Lots of people in there. You know, they can't keep their eye on everybody. But yeah, you just got to be careful in places like that. Thank you, Patriotism. It was good to have you here. Thank you, Miss PJ. Appreciate it. Hey, Miss Stormy. Good to see you, ma'am. Miss Stormy is in the house. It's what's going on in here, kids. I think everybody's behaving themselves for the most part. I think we had somebody popped in here earlier, but they were dealt with accordingly, swiftly and accordingly. Yes, once again, Freedom Fighter GG is Miss PJ's new channel. If you haven't already, go over there, sub up. She's getting it built back up, the new channel. Okay, so Miss Lisa Joe says that this person of interest said he drowned in a pool, if I'm not mistaken, and no family claimed him. Wow. So his mother didn't even claim him, because I think this was the same one that the mother called to do a welfare check because he had made these weird comments to her. So she didn't even claim him. I don't know. Maybe she knew things that we don't know, that nobody knew, I don't know. That's sad. I mean, it's sad. It's sad when anybody's not claimed, you know. Once again, there could have been a reason. It could have been a reason. We don't know. And once again, if he did have some not so good things that he did, I don't feel, I don't feel sorry for him in that way, obviously, but so Mark says, I once dated a woman who had 2 daughters. The 4 of us went to a carnival, and the daughters went out on some rides. They snuck off for a little bit, and my girlfriend got so scared. Oh, absolutely. I never saw that look before. I know. So scary. Kids can be, I mean, through no fault of the parent. I mean, you can turn around for, my oldest niece, which she's grown with kids of her own now. When she was little, even in just the little Walmart that we had, here local, we could turn around for a second and that child would be gone. And she left to hide in, crawl up under and into the clothes racks. She got in trouble more than once for doing that and scaring the crap out of us. So yeah, kids can just, you turn around for a half a second, you turn back around and they're gone. But you could usually, 15 years of working at Walmart, usually, thankfully, all the ones that we had, because Walmart, we had the Code Adam. They called Code Adam. An associate would go to all the doors to make sure that nobody left with any kid. We had a description of the kid. Most of the time, thankfully, they were found in the toy section. Because I think a lot of the time, because I did work in the toy section, so that I would always be over there. We had our walkie-talkies and do you have a description for the child? Or in a name? Yep, they're over here in the toy section. I'll stay with them until the parent can come get them. So thankfully, that's the case most of the time. Or if it happened to be an older preteen, maybe, or sometimes they would be in electronics, looking at the video games, things of that nature. But yeah, Mustang says I would have been scared too. Absolutely. Paula wants to know, they're still investigating. Yes, they are still investigating, as far as the article said. Lisa says, I think so, but there aren't. Yeah, they said they had no new leads in the case. Stormy says she doesn't believe in coincidences either. I know. Now, once again, it might not have been this one person, the gentleman that ended up deceased. It could have been another person, coincidence that they both had similar physical description, and both drove Pontiacs. But yeah, I think it was, in my opinion, it was most likely, I think it was one person that was doing this. I mean, but then you had the woman with the group of men that tried to take Teekah. So I don't know. It could, I mean, I don't know. Which that could have been with the group of people, the woman and the group of men. That could have been somebody who was looking to steal babies to sell them or whatever, traffic, whatever you want to call it. Which is obviously not good either. Horrendous too. But so Lisa Jo says she researched the guy a bit for Teresa. So did you find anything out that you can divulge? If not, I understand. Absolutely. So you've been in contact with Teresa, with the mother? Yes, very evil people. But yeah, to me, with this description of this man with the dark curly hair and the mustache and the whatever, in my opinion, that's the same person. I mean, the predator, that was his territory, however you want to put it. That's just my opinion. Obviously, I don't know for sure, but Yeah, Lisa Joe says Madison worked on Teekah's case a lot. That's how I got tapped to research. Excellent. Miss Doodle says around here they have an arcade and dining, or they are with an arcade and dining. I haven't seen a good bowling alley like our old days ones in years. I know. The last time I went bowling, I don't know, it was probably late. It was after I graduated. I graduated in '89, so probably the early '90s into early to mid '90s, maybe into early 2000s. We, a group of us friends will get together and bowl. I don't know. Well, when my oldest niece and nephew were kids and teenagers, we took them bowling. Once again, that they're in their 20s now. So, I mean, that's been 20 years ago, or 15 to 20 years ago. So, um, um, I feel you. Sleepy says I need my glasses. I swear every time I try to read chat, it gets worse and worse. I know, and I broke my good pair of glasses, so I'm gonna have to go to the dollar store or to Walmart and get buy some more my cheap readers before we go on our trip. I have my backup glasses. Um, Miss Paula says, "Smart lady." Lisa says, "Yes, his remains were unclaimed." Wow. So not even the mother, and it could have been. Well, it said it was just it could have been, I don't know if the mother passed away or if she just, like I said, just didn't, there was something going on. I mean, that she just didn't want to have anything to do with him. I don't know. As PJ says, this case seems familiar. I know. The kids get me. I know. The little smile, especially in the one, and they had it on the Charlie Project too, but on the poster, the top right corner. Oh, that little smile. Oh my gosh. It melts me. It breaks my heart. Okay, Miss Lisa Joe says, yes, she's talked to Teresa, the mother, about this guy. Okay. Okay. Oh, let me see. I had a couple of other articles. So I mentioned they did an excavation that I believe was this guy. Let me find it. Let me find the right one. There it is. So this is from May of this year, 2025, or is updated in 2025. It says police confirmed Tacoma backyard excavation was related to missing toddler Teekah Lewis. So a dig in a Tacoma backyard was related to the 26-year-old case of missing toddler Teekah Lewis. Officials confirmed. Tacoma Police Department detectives were seen searching a home on the 3200 block of South Gunnison Street and excavating the property's backyard. So the department said it was investigating a tip related to an ongoing cold case investigation, but offered no other information. The property's location prompted public speculation that the case was that of Teekah Lewis. So we've talked about her disappearance. So KOMO News spoke with Teekah's mother, Teresa, by phone. She said that she learned about the current cold case investigation after being contacted by media. So apparently the police didn't even contact her about this. Teresa told KOMO News that she immediately called the Tacoma police chief concerning the investigation, concerned that the investigation may have been about her missing daughter. So she just recounted to this news source about Teekah's disappearance. The Tacoma PD said that a maroon late 1980s or early 1990s Pontiac Grand Am with tinted windows in the spoiler was seen speeding away from the bowling alley not long after Teekah disappeared. In March, Tacoma police confirmed to KOMO News that a person of interest who was interviewed by detectives is now deceased, so it's the same guy. So on Wednesday, the TPD confirmed the backyard dig was over and the tip had been related to Teekah's case. Officials stated that nothing related to Teekah's disappearance had been discovered at the site. A statement from the agency said, quote, the Tacoma Police Department remains steadfast in its commitment to seeking answers for Teekah's family and to resolving all of the city's cold cases. Every tip and lead we receive is taken seriously and pursued completely, end quote. So to answer your question, once again, Miss Paula, apparently they are still, it's a cold case, but they are still, if they're not actively investigating it every day, at least they are, they say, following up on every tip and any tips or leads that come in. So Tacoma police said that there were 147 open homicides and 20 missing persons cases categorized as cold cases in the city. Once again, anyone with information related to Teekah's disappearance or any of the other unsolved cases is urged to contact the Tacoma PD. So I had one more that I thought was just so, you know, we hear a lot, Miss Barb is an example, a prime example, even after everything that she's gone through with her fight to get justice for Timmy, Miss Barbara is always helping, doing something to help other people, other families that had missing persons or a loved one that had been taken from the, and you see this a lot in cases that we look at as the families go on, they open foundations or either open foundations to help bring more awareness to missing persons cases. They, you know, donate to, you know, just whatever they can do to help other families. And apparently Teekah's mother has done this because I found this article. Oh, the heat just came on. I've been cold, now the heat's on. If it'll come up. It may take a minute. I may have to close out the tab and one second. Apparently this year, Teekah's family, Teekah's mom, has started a toy drive in Teekah's honor. There it is. Okay, so this is from November, just a few days ago, November 26th of this year. Family honors missing girl Teekah Lewis with holiday toy drive. So Teekah Lewis's mother, Teresa, is launching the first ever Hope for Teekah, Joy for Every Child toy drive on December 6th. So 26 years after 2-year-old Teekah Lewis vanished from a Tacoma bowling alley, her family is turning their grief into a mission of generosity, one they hope will keep her memory alive while helping children in need. Teekah's mother, Teresa, is launching the first ever Hope for Teekah, Joy for Every Child toy drive on December 6th, an effort that she says brings her daughter's spirit into a holiday season that has long been painful. Teresa said, quote, as the days get closer to Christmas, it gets more emotional for me because she should be here with us celebrating Christmas. She shouldn't be anywhere else, end quote. Inside her Tacoma home, Christmas decorations are already up and presents are piling beneath the tree, not for her own grandchildren, but for children that she has never met. Half of the toys will go to patients at Mary Bridge Children's Hospital, and the rest will be delivered directly to local families who need them the most. Teresa said, Christmas was Teekah's holiday. She loved being around family. She loved when her grandma gave her gifts. I think every child should have that star in their eyes when they opened something on Christmas morning, end quote. So once again, just go through Teekah's disappearance. It says, despite more than 700 tips, age-progressed images, a person of interest sketch, and a description of a dark Pontiac Grand Am seen speeding away that night, investigators have never identified a suspect. No physical evidence was found, which is a challenge that detectives continue to emphasize as the case enters its third decade. The Teekah story has been featured nationwide, and it was revisited last year in KING5's Unsolved Northwest series, where Teresa made a public plea for answers. She said at the time, quote, "I'm pleading to the public now. I know somebody out there knows what happened to Teekah or where Teekah is at." So now, grandmother to 16, Teresa says her purpose has expanded. Hold on to hope for her daughter and help families facing hardship. Teresa says, quote, "My mission now is to find out what happened to my daughter and help other families that are going through this. I would not wish this on anybody. No mother or father should have to go through what I've been through in 26 years, end quote. She believes the toy drive can do both, ease her pain and potentially spark new information. Detectives say renewed attention can make a difference in a cold case built almost entirely on witness memory. So investigators told KING News, after 26 years, quote, "This case relies almost entirely on people coming forward," end quote. Without physical evidence from that night, events that bring Teekah's name and photo back into the public eye can spur new leads or jog long buried recollections. Teresa remains convinced that the answers are still out there. She says, one day she'll be found or we'll have answers. I will never give up on her, never. So the first Hope for Teekah, Joy for Every Child toy drive will be held Saturday, December 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Home Depot parking lot off of Center Street in Tacoma. It says new unwrapped toys can be dropped off in person. For Teresa, it is a way to keep her daughter's light shining through the holiday season that she loved the most. She says, quote, "She was my everything, and this is how I carry her with me," end quote. So I just thought that was just very, once again, it makes me want to cry. But like I said, we see this a lot with families that have experienced this, because they go on to do whatever they can in different ways to help other families, or do, anyway. Y'all talking about bowling now? Yeah, Miss Stormy says, because they know the struggle and they know that these families need help. The communities are amazing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Miss Barbara Hall. How are you doing, ma'am? See, I said Miss Barb's name and she appeared. How are you doing, Miss Barbara? Good to see you, ma'am. It's always good to see you. She says, hello, everyone. Late, we'll go back to replay crew. It's good to have you here, Miss Barb. All right. Let me make sure. I think that is all I had on Teekah. But I was so glad when I came across these recent articles on Teekah's case. All right, so we'll see who we have next. This is Matisa Ann Harrison. Make it bigger so I can read it once again. Matisa has been missing from Tuba City, Arizona since, let's just say, 2010 or 2011. She was 51 years old when she went missing. She has brown hair, or brown eyes and black hair, 5'7" tall, 232 pounds. She was 29. Oh no, this is two. Okay, sorry. This is a two. So we have Matisa Ann Harrison, and then we have Sasha Michaela Keams. So Sasha was 29 at the time she went missing, with brown hair and brown eyes, unknown height and weight. So I don't know if they went missing together. I could not find any other information regarding these two ladies. So I don't know if they, it just says they've been missing since 2010 or 2011. So if anybody out there has any other has heard of these cases, once again, I don't know if they went missing together or just from the same area, or if they were friends, or what the connection is. But if you have any information on either one of them, call the Navajo Police Department, Tuba City District at 928-283-3111 or 3112, or once again, your local PD or 911. So that's now that makes me wonder, which I wondered this at the time that I read the flyer. I don't know, did they know each other? Did they go missing at the same time, or just from the same area, from the same reservation? I'm assuming the same reservation, because it said that to call the Navajo Police Department, Tuba City District. Once again, let me check just to make sure, but I don't think I was able to find any other information on these two ladies. No, I was not. So it'd be interesting to know. Stormy says these two look familiar. Yeah, Miss Barbara says it's hard to listen to the missing sometimes. It's heartbreaking. Absolutely. All right. So that is Matisa and Sasha. So Matisa was 51 when she went missing, and Sasha was 29. All right. So next we have Faith Lynn Hope Fontaine. She's been missing from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada since November 12th, 2025. She's just 18 years old when she went missing. Hazel eyes, blonde hair, 5'9" tall, 110 pounds. It says that she was last seen in the area of Selkirk Avenue and Mackenzie Street in Winnipeg. So if you have any information regarding Faith Lynn, call the Winnipeg PD at 204-986-6250 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. You can remain anonymous or call local PD. Once again, no other information that I could find on Faith Lynn. Right. Next we have Ileana Brown. Oh, that's too big. Hold on. So Ileana has been missing from Sacaton, Arizona since November 15th, 2025. She's just 13 years old when she went missing. Her tribal affiliation is the Gila River Indian community. She has brown hair and brown eyes, 5'2" tall, 154 pounds. She was last seen wearing a gray hoodie and blue jeans. She was last seen at her home in Sacaton. So if you have any information about Ileana, contact the Gila River Police Department at 520-562-4511, or you can call the tip line at 520-562-7114. And once again, your local police. With any information, once again, no bit of information is ever too small in any of those cases, whether it's a cold case, whether it's an urgent, newer case, newer missing. Just any bit of information is always welcome. All right, so next we have Betty Ann Claw. This is another cold case. So Betty Ann has been missing from Farmington, New Mexico since August 2nd, 1996. I think I was able to find her on the Charlie Project. Let me see. Yep. So once again, Betty Ann Claw has been missing since August 2nd, 1996 from Farmington, New Mexico. Native American female. She was 50 years old at the time she went missing. She'll be 79 years old as of 2025. At the time she went missing, she was 5'3" to 5'6", and 140 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. She wears prescription glasses. She has a surgical scar on the right side of her lip and a mole on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced. It says her thumb and ankles are damaged from a prior car accident, and she had pins inserted for that. And it says that she may use the first name Ina, I-N-A. So basically, all the basic information we have is that she was last seen by family members in Farmington, New Mexico, on August 2nd, 1999. After that, she's never been heard from again. One of her sisters reported her missing in December. And other than that, that's all I could find. I did find, let's see, that's something, just from Florida today. It's from 2018. That said the sheriff's office is investigating 1996 cold case. The San Juan County Sheriff's Office is requesting the public's assistance regarding a cold case from 1996. The department is looking into the case of Betty Claw, a Native American woman who went missing in the Farmington area, according to a post on the Sheriff's Office Facebook page. Detective Andrew Gilbert of the Sheriff's Office said that he recently reached out to members of Betty's family regarding the case. He hopes to help bring the family closure and find out any information about Betty Ann after she disappeared more than 21 years ago. One of Betty's daughters told Gilbert that she last saw her mother on Thanksgiving in 1996. It was one of Betty's sisters who reported her missing in December of 1996 and said that Betty was last seen in the Farmington area. According to Gilbert, the sheriff's office stated it is unknown if Betty is still living and that she could be using an alias of Ina if she is. She did have plastic surgery on her right lip following a car accident in which she was injured. And once again, other identifying marks are the mole on the right shoulder that she referred to as her spider, along with the damage to her ankles and her thumb, where she had pins inserted during, after surgery. And it just gives the phone number again. So that's just a little bit, a little bit of additional information. All right. So that's all I had on Betty. But I had heard, I've come across this case before and read a little bit about it. Because as soon as I saw the flyer and heard the name, I'm like, it sparked something in my. It got the squirrels going a little bit in the head here. Miss Barb says, Betty went missing on her birthday. Wow. All right. Right. So now we have a very, very, very cold case. Let me get a drink here. This is Walcie Ray Downing. And I think I had, let me get her information up. She had information on the Charlie Project. So yes, apparently a case has to get really, really cold for, anybody to put out any articles or be entered into any, well, if I would go to the right page, it might help. There we go. All right, so this is Walcie Ray Downing. So Walcie has been missing since December 14th, 1956, from Gallup, New Mexico. She's a Native American female. She was 32 years, or it says 32 years old. I'm assuming that had to be that she was 32 when she went missing. At the time she went missing, she was 5'6" tall, 130 pounds, and with black hair and brown eyes. It says she may go by her middle name, Ray. Her maiden name is also Alston, Alston, and her previous married name is Pierce. She has moles on her back, and her ears are pierced. So Walcie was last seen in Gallup on December 14th, 1956. She drove a cream or tan 1952 or 1954 Ford at the time of her disappearance. It has never been recovered either. It is possible that she contacted her children by phone around 1959, but that has not been confirmed. She was actually born here in Arkansas. She had lived in Arizona, Texas, and California, as well as New Mexico. Her family stated that she was going through a difficult time at the time of her disappearance, including a broken relationship. And it says that she may have been having an affair in a relationship with a police officer. So when she left, she told her 14-year-old daughter not to look for her. Now, I think this may be in the phone call. No, that was in 1959. Or maybe she left a note. I know I have a couple little articles with some information. Apparently, allegedly, she told her 14-year-old daughter when she left not to look for her. Nevertheless, her 5 children do not believe that she would have abandoned them permanently. So one theory is that she was the victim of a homicide in the area of Grants, New Mexico, or somewhere in the lava fields, which are known as the Malpais. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Malpais. Her case remains unsolved. But if you do have, let's see. Last known clothing was a white blouse, blue jeans, and she was wearing an engagement ring. So if you have any information, you can call the Gallup Police Department at 505-863-9365. So I did find, I don't know what additional information it had, justicefornativepeople.com. Once again, for anybody coming in or who may not know, the links to all the online articles I use are always linked in the description box. So feel free to read them at your leisure if you wish. So once again, this is from justicefornativepeople.com. Walcie was 32 years old when she was last seen in Gallup, New Mexico. On December 14th, 1956, she left behind 5 children who she dearly loved and would have never abandoned, according to her family. An unconfirmed contact from Walcie occurred when she called her children in 1959. She was having relationship problems at the time of her disappearance. There were rumors that she may have been having an affair with a police officer. Walcie told her 14-year-old daughter that she intended to leave, but to, quote, not look for her. Some of her family believes that she was the victim of a homicide en route. So this is why I saved this. So some of her family believes that she may have been, her life was taken en route to see her children, while others believe that she simply chose to disappear and begin a new life. So I gather that maybe she might have not had custody of some or all of her children, because it does make mention in another article I read that her family believes that maybe this was the reason, like they said, that she disappeared and possibly victim of a homicide was because she was somebody, they didn't say who, somebody did not want her to see her children, or was trying to keep her from seeing her children. So I don't know. So another theory says that Walcie, once again, that her life was taken near Grants, New Mexico, somewhere in the lava fields. Once again, she's lived in New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, California. No trace of her has ever been found. So that's that little bit of information that her family, but I know it says something. Let me find it. So I did come across this little blog thing. It's from historical.blogspot.com. Once again, it's linked in the description. So I don't know who wrote this or whatever. On behalf of the family, I'm assuming. But it says, our mother is missing Walcie Downing. It says she had a smile that was bright and an inner strength visible in the set of her shoulders and the pert tilt of her head. She was about 5 feet 6 inches tall, brown eyed, with short, curly black hair that touched her shoulders, and she weighed around 130 pounds. As the photos supplied by her family indicates, she was attractive, confident, and reflected a firm strength of inner pride in herself. Walcie Downing, also known as Walcie Ray Alston, which is her maiden name, and Walcie Ray Pierce, was a Native American. She was born July 18th, 1924. And she went missing December 14th, 1956, near Gallup, which is in McKinley County, New Mexico. Family members believe that she may have been killed in the Grants, New Mexico area of the Malpays. One vivid and stark memory of her children is the assurance that she could not stay away from her children. She was very determined to see them and be with them. So for her to disappear from their lives is their indication that she was taken from them by a person or persons unknown. So when she was last seen, she was wearing a white blouse with blue jeans, an engagement ring, and driving a 1952 or 1954 Ford car, possibly a cream or faded tan color, that some felt may have been purchased in Casa Grande, Arizona, where she and her children lived at the time. It says that she was going through a difficult time with a broken relationship, 5 children whom she adored, and all the struggles that such a time can produce. It is believed that she may have been attempting to see her children when she disappeared due to accident or intentional desire to prevent her from seeing her children. Her family has memories of some difficulties along that line, and that may help authorities to follow up on leads. This person who wrote this says there is the distinct possibility based on childhood memories that someone may have been trying to keep her from seeing her children, or that a third party involved may have in some similar manner interfered with her, resulting in her disappearance. So I don't know if it would be the father or fathers of the children that they may be referring to. Obviously, they didn't give any names. So her children and extended family have missed her. They missed her smile, that left a large void in many lives. Children grew to adulthood without her, and friends were deprived of her laughter and care. The lessons of life, courage, love, and determination that she could have shared with her family never happened. The guidance and direction that she could have shared with others and her society was never put to use. Someone out there may hold the key, may have memories, may know what happened to this lovely, strong, and full of potential woman. Someone may be able to, at long last, bless her children with the story of what happened to this woman and respond and give them some closure. So it says, across the years, their voices whisper, our mother is missing. Walcie Ray Alston Downing, do you know where she is? So in an update, because it said it had an update at the beginning. So whoever wrote this says, I was contacted in early 2016 by family members asking if I would profile their mother to inspire renewed interest in her case, and she was happy to do so. It says her case has been profiled on several missing persons platforms and forums over the decades. She is in the Doe Network. And then she had another update. whoever wrote this says, after contact from DOJ and their task force looking into this case and other missing Indigenous women, I dug deeper and to my surprise learned that the person that wrote this was distantly related to Walcie and to a distant relative of hers also named Walcie. She says the name Walcie is unique, but I found many with that name. So I thought it was interesting that whoever this blog is, it doesn't have a name. A lady named Marilyn was actually, when she got to digging, she was actually distantly related to Walcie. Right, I think that is all I had on her. Let me check and make sure. Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you, Miss Stormy, for being here. She says she's going to bed. Everyone have a good night. You too, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, Miss Barr says, what a beautiful woman. Absolutely. All right. So next we have Daryl Talliman. I don't think. Oh, hold on. I don't think I have any additional was not able to find any additional information on the rest of these that we have tonight. So, but we've got the flyers, courtesy once again to all credit goes out to Stolen Spirits MMIWG for I use their missing posters that they make. Please check them out on YouTube. Please check them out on Facebook if you do Facebook. Miss Brady, Miss Nicole, that whole gang over there does such a fantastic job on both the YouTube channel and on Facebook, bringing awareness to all these missing Indigenous cases. So absolutely, I give them a shout out whenever I get the chance, or just because. So please do go check them out. All right, so next we have Daryl Talliman. And also, I don't know if Ms. Z is still here, but Trial Junkies United, Ms. Z and Doc do a lot, feature a lot of missing Indigenous. Absolutely. So please do, once again, check out Trial Junkies United. So Daryl has been missing from Cornfields, Arizona, which is in the Window Rock District, since July 11th, 2025. 54 years old, a Native American male, brown eyes and brown hair, 5 foot 10 inches tall, 195 pounds. Excuse me, he was last seen wearing a pullover with a Hornet logo and blue jeans. He does have tattoos on his fingers and his chest. Says he was last seen leaving Cornfields, Arizona with a Caucasian male in a white older model van, and he was carrying a small bag. So, we did not say, I don't know if they know who this Caucasian male is. Hopefully, if they do know who it is, that they talk to this person. I'm just going to assume that they don't know who it was. But if you do have any information about Daryl, contact the Navajo Police Department, Window Rock District at 928-871-6111 or 6112. All right, I think this is maybe our last. Oh, it may not be. It might be our last one. This is Destiny Jackson. She's been missing from Moscow, Idaho, since November 19th, 2025. She's just 16 years old. She has brown eyes and black hair, 5 foot 6 inches tall, 180 pounds. It says she has a light skin tone, skin discoloration on the right side of her face, on her cheek. And she has a tattoo of a heart on her face underneath her eye. And she has a nose septum piercing. So if you have any information regarding Destiny, call the Idaho Falls Police Department at 208-529-1200. You can also call NCMEC at 1-800-THE-LOST, which is 1-800-843-5678. She does have an NCIC number. Once again, you can also call your local authorities with any of these cases, or 911. Oh, no, we do have some more. Oh, wait, maybe I did have, hold on. Let me see what I had. I did have something bookmarked for her. So this is an article from August of this year, 2025. Moscow police seek help to find missing 16-year-old girl. So the Moscow Police Department asked for the public's help finding a missing girl on Friday afternoon. Destiny Jackson, 16, was last seen on August 20th carrying a red Jordan backpack. Officials speculate that she may be in the Lewis Clark Valley area. Once again, anyone with information regarding her whereabouts is urged to contact MPD at 208-882-2677. So along with the clothing description, it said that she was carrying a red Jordan backpack. And that officials speculate, and I don't know why, they must have some reason for saying that, think that she may be in the Lewis Clark Valley area. So I don't know how far away that is from where she was last seen. All right, let me go back over here. All right, so next we have Joshua Rodriguez. He has been missing since November 19th, 2025 from Casa Grande, Arizona. He is just 16 years old. His tribal affiliation is the Gila River Indian community. He has brown eyes and black hair, 5'7" tall, 150 pounds. He was last seen wearing a light black shirt and blue basketball shorts with red and white stripes at the bottom, and he has a U-shaped scar on his chin. It says that he went missing around 2:50 p.m. on November 19th, 2025. So if you have any information about Joshua, contact the Gila River Police Department at 520-562-4511 or the anonymous tip line at 520-562-7144. Oh, I guess Joshua was the last one that we had. All right. So I'll just put that one back up there. Still looking at my face there. Oh, make it smaller. So which one are you talking about? Are you talking about you're talking about Destiny? Yeah, Miss Barb said so is this the second time she's been missing? Because that says November 19th, 2025. Let me go back to her. Yeah, I believe because I came across, I think on a couple of these, and maybe I think hers was one of them, that she went missing. Let me go back to the article. That some of these are like, this is not, they not the first time they've been missing. But yeah, the article said it's from August of 2025. And so, yeah, that's what it was. I kept coming across these articles on some Facebook posts and then some articles that said that she had been found. So I'm like, great, she's been found. But then I looked at the date, like you said, and it's from August of 2025. And on this poster, it was what, November of 2025. So I'm going to assume that maybe they found her in August, but then now I don't know. I hate to use runaway. because I hate when they label them runaways. I mean, that could be the case. She could be a runaway. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm assuming that this may be in the second time at the very least that she's gone missing. So you are correct, Miss Barbara. And I think on a couple of the other ones I was looking at, there have been some posts that they had been missing and they've been found, but then the dates were different. It was an earlier date from, so I took it that, you know, and that does happen, unfortunately. It makes you wonder either that something's going on in the home or just the teen may have some mental health problems or some emotional problems that you know just makes them run away or whatever, or makes them want to get away from whatever situation they're in. Yeah. So we're talking about destiny. Okay. All right, guys. I think that is all I have. So if anybody has anything else, make sure I didn't have anything else. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Where's all my pictures? Here in Arkansas, we still have Miss Joynelle Brandon that's been missing. It's been over 6 months now. In November, it was 6 months because she went missing on May 13th, I believe, of this year. Unfortunately, no updates in Miss Joynelle's case, but I did reshare her flyer on my community page here on YouTube and then on Facebook. So please share it. Keep sharing it. Just want to find out what happened to Miss Joynelle. Hopefully she is alive and well out there somewhere, and just for some reason, because she does have an unspecified medical condition that she is supposed to take medication for. I don't think she has her medication with her when she went missing. Her family, obviously, I've watched many interviews, news interviews and stuff with her family, especially her daughter. It just breaks my heart every time. And I've been keeping up with Miss Joynelle's case since she went missing in May, and just the one that's grabbed a hold of my heart. Of course, they all, to some extent, grab a hold of me, obviously, but Miss Joynelle's case, for some reason, is just got a hold of me, and especially from being here in Arkansas, and she's missing from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, which is just 45 minutes from here, from the town I live in. So it's kind of close to home. So once again, if you come across her, anybody, a lot of people have shared her poster, her missing poster, and her information on Facebook. So if you do Facebook, if you happen to come across a post of anybody, any missing person, but especially Miss Joynelle, please share it. Absolutely. Very much appreciated. But I thought I'd uploaded her poster. I did have it on here at one time on StreamYard, but I don't have it now. So anyway, so that is all I have. So once again, oh God, that's another thing I've got to do. I'm gonna try to have. So once again, I'm leaving sometime Friday morning. We're leaving to go on our trip to New York City for 8 days. So obviously there won't be any more live streams until probably next Monday, week after. Not this coming Monday, but the Monday after that. So almost 2 weeks, a week and a half. Because we're leaving this Friday, I believe we should be back next Friday because we're going to be gone 8 days. But I do have some pre-recorded pre-recorded videos about some cases that I'll try to get all those scheduled to upload for the rest of this week and for next week while I'm gone. So be on the lookout for those. I'm gonna miss you guys when I'm gone. But anyway, so pray for me. But we've traveled we're going with Little Rockers. We've traveled with them a lot. They're very good. Everything's always very safe and their bus drivers are the best drivers that I've ever ridden with. So no worries there. No worries there. I mean, but anyway, let me get, you get into your last comments and then we will get out of here. I keep going back too far for some reason. Hold on, let me get back down to, I was scrolling the wrong way. Imagine that. Thank you, Miss Stang. Always good to have you here. It's good to have everybody here. Thank you, Miss Farr. Always good to have you here. Says, thank you, Southern Gal. Thank you all. Have a great night. Sleep well. Stay safe. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Barb, for being here. She'll come up. There we are. Miss Barbara says, thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Stay safe out there. Be kind. Sweet dreams. Absolutely. You too, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Mustang says, safe travels. Have fun. Yeah, like I said, I'm excited about getting to see New York City. I've never been there. I can just survive the riding in the bus. Thank you, Miss Z. Says, have fun or have safe travels. Absolutely. Once again, go check out Trial Junkies United. Miss Z and Doc and all the wonderful mods that they have over there. Miss Barb says, stay safe in New York. Have a wonderful time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Lisa Joe, for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you, Miss PJ, for being here. Thank you once again to everybody, to the mods, everybody who has wrenches, putting in links, keeping the trolls out. I think maybe we might have had a troll pop in tonight. First time in a long time. Oh. All right. So everybody, until I see you again, once again, I'm going to try my best to get all the videos uploaded. I have to do that between packing and working and everything else I got to do to get everything together before we leave. So everybody stay safe as always. Take care of each other. Trying to find my multitask here. Be safe. Take care of each other. Watch out for the pre-recorded videos that will be uploaded probably on Wednesdays and Fridays when I probably set them to upload. And I will see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks, guys.